Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, as always, it is appreciated. Labour are coming for reform, and they're coming for them in the only way that they know how, which is to cancel elections, which is what dictators do. I'm going to go through this article first of all, and I want to draw on a couple of important points. Council elections may be cancelled for more than 5 million Britons amid panic that Reform UK victories may grind Labour's overhaul of local government to a halt. The government is weighing up private requests of 7 Conservative county council leaders to postpone next May's elections. Labour is planning to scrap the two-tier system of local government which sees county and district councils in operation. In their place, the government is hoping to introduce a number of larger councils led by elected mayors, who will have a host of devolved decision-making powers. I'll go into that in a minute because I'm actually in one of these larger council areas currently. 7 local elections in Conservative majority councils were postponed in until 2026 in preparation for the new system of governance to be put in place. However, Suffolk, Norfolk, Hampshire, Surrey, Essex, East and West Sussex County Council leaders are now lobbying hard for the government to push back these local elections once more to 2027 according to the Times. The move would see Tory-run councils handed 6-year terms as opposed to the standard 5 years. One Conservative council leader said, officially we are prepared to go ahead, but privately we are saying the elections would be a huge waste. So that's the crux of it. Now, as I mentioned, I live in Halton. I'm actually in Runcorn, Cheshire, not Liverpool. I am not in Liverpool. My MP is Sarah Poachin, and I am very much Cheshire, hence the handle of the channel, Cheshire Cat Musings. The Liverpool City Region Combined Authority, I'm actually been bundled in with these Shower in Liverpool, is a combined authority of the Liverpool City Region in England. The jurisdiction includes the City of Liverpool, the metropolitan boroughs of Knowsley, St Helens, Sefton, Wirral, and the unitary borough of Halton, which is where I am. It was established on the 1st of April 2014 by statutory instruments under the provisions of Local Democracy, Economic Development and Constitution Act 2009, so introduced under the previous Labour governments. That's what they want, and by doing this they are stripping the ceremonial counties that we're all in of any meaning. For example, each ceremonial county in the United Kingdom has a Lord Lieutenant, and this Lord Lieutenant is the monarch's personal representative in each of the counties. They're nothing to do with government, so they're everything to do with the monarch and the crown's ties to the local land. This is what they want to strip away from every single person, alright? They want to strip away any connection, historical connection, with the sweeping changes to local government. So it's not just about denying reform a democratic mandate and building up a groundswell of support, which they have already got. I mean, just look at this image here. That'll tell you pretty much everything that you need to know. This is what the elites, this is what the Uni Party is terrified of. They don't want the grassroots getting a foothold all over the country for Reform UK. The councillors and their representatives and their activists locally, they're basically the grassroots for any general election campaign, which is why they are terrified of losing their ground game, the Labour and the Tories, because without it they're completely up the creek without a paddle. This is just my view. Your mileage may vary as always. I'm going to play this clip now. This is from Nigel, I believe. You'll reiterate Reform's position on the matter.
First this year with the English county elections, they were cancelled in East Sussex, Essex, Hampshire, Norfolk, Suffolk, Surrey and West Sussex. Angela Rayner, then Deputy Prime Minister, simply cancelled the elections, said they're delayed by a year. Coincidentally, they were all areas in which it was thought that Reform would win. Well, can you believe it? The Tory leaders of these councils have now written to the government asking for them to be postponed yet again. And in 2 cases, Tory council leaders openly saying they want the elections to be cancelled because they fear Reform will win. Now it looks like the Labour government will accede to this demand, and once again democracy will be denied in all of these counties. That is a complete total outrage. It'll mean that people elected back in 2021 will be serving 6, 7, who knows how long their terms will be. We are launching this petition because we intend to lobby government as hard as possible to say, why on earth should people pay their council tax if they don't get the chance to vote for people that implement policies that affect their lives locally?
So we'll leave that one now. Now, one of the councils that Reform won earlier in the year is Lancashire County Council. They've got most of the councillors, they've got 53. A lot of people are saying, well, what difference are Reform making on the ground locally? Well, first of all, they're actually setting up local community hubs, and they're doing that. And they're getting involved in local community with local initiatives. This is something that Labour used to do, but they haven't done it for decades because they are arrogant and they need bringing down to earth with a huge, huge thud. This is what the members of Reform County Council in Lancashire are doing currently with net zero.
Parker. Thank you, Chair. This motion isn't about rejecting environmental responsibility. It's about bringing honesty and balance back into local decision making. We've spent years chasing headline targets without ever asking the hard question, at what cost and to whom? Recently, the CEO of E.ON, one of the UK's largest energy providers, made it clear even if wholesale energy costs fell to zero by 2030, households would still be paying more than they do now. Why? Because of the spiraling costs of infrastructure, levies, and the growing layers of policy-driven charges built into the net zero agenda. That prediction isn't guesswork. It's based on advanced modelling using some of the best technology and data available in that industry. If even the experts in energy supply are warning that bills will rise regardless of generation costs, then councils have a duty to look hard at where public money and prioritise are being directed. This motion simply asks us to focus on what is statutory, measurable and affordable, and to stop wasting resources on voluntary reporting and virtue signalling initiatives that do nothing to lower emissions or help residents facing real cost of living pressures.
So that's what Reform is doing on a local level, and they're doing this all over the country. They're also scrapping DEI initiatives. People should be hired on merit. I do know, I think it's in Durham County Council, they managed to pause any new asylum hotels. My Reform MP was instrumental in getting our asylum hotel shut down in Runcorn and Helsby. So this is the impact that, even though they're not in government yet, they can make on the ground, both to constituents as MPs and as councillors. Reform are making the difference. They are getting the ball rolling. As many councils as they can get is more ground game and more grassroots for the next general election circa 2028-29. I would say keep your powder dry. Write to your local Labour or Tory MP and demand that these elections go ahead. Nothing can stop Reform at this point. They are the next government in my view. As always, your mileage may vary. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good evening.